We're back for Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals. Let's go! What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and that's right, back to talk some more NBA playoff action. We got Game 2 between the Timberwolves and the Thunder. Interesting Game 1, that's for sure, with an absolute domination in the second half by the Thunder after a halftime lead by the T-Wolves. But we'll talk about that and more later, as I have two best bets for Game 1 and also a series bet that I want to give out. So we made some money in Game 1 as well. We'll go over the recap in just a little bit. We are recording this before the Pacers and Knicks game starts, so I do not have a recap for that one yet. But quick reminder, MLB Best Bets video for the Thursday slate will be out after this one later tonight. Be sure to check it out. So any graphics you see in this video, you guys know from an app called OUTLIER. It is the best betting research tool on the market today. I don't go one day without using this, that's for sure. Click that link below and you get a 7-day free trial when you sign up. But let's get it rolling. And that means it's time for the dad joke. Here we go. I told a joke over a Zoom meeting, but no one laughed. It turns out I'm not remotely funny. In this video, we're going to recap Tuesday and Wednesday. We don't know yet, but hopefully we get some winners. But best bets, and then we're going to give out, one series bet for this Minnesota OKC, and then I'm going to give out two bets for the Game 1. So we got a lot to go through, and then, of course, we'll finish it with the recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to help this channel continue to grow. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Come join this awesome community. Also, 5,000 people in the Discord, completely free to join. A lot of winners are given out, a lot of smart people, and it's just a lot of fun to sweat out bets together in that Discord. So be sure to go join. Link is in the description. All right, let's get it rolling, and that means it's recap time. All right, there it is, a 1-1 day on Game 1 of this series, but luckily we hit the 1-unit play, so we had some small profit. Anthony Edwards under 27.5 points. Cashed this one easily. He ends with 18. We're going to talk a little more about Anthony Edwards a little later today, but Chet Holmgren, 12-plus points, got the job done. The only thing that lost, Minnesota plus 14.5 was what cost us our sweep, and they were up 2 at halftime. Yep, that's the NBA. They were absolutely terrible in the second half. So, again, lost a half unit, the 1-unit play, and then Wednesday we're sweating these ones out as right after I record. Pacers team total over 109.5, Cat over 11.5 rebounds. Hopefully we get two winners there. But there's the breakdown: 129 units on the season, down a little under 5 units on the playoffs, unfortunately, but hopefully we can turn that around and get on a little hot streak here. So that's what we got for the recap. Now let's talk Game 2. All right, here we go. We head out to Oklahoma City where the Thunder hosts the Minnesota Timberwolves. Thunder minus 7.5. Total in this one is 214.5. So quick preview of what we saw in Game 1. Thunder obviously were down at halftime, but then they outscored the Timberwolves 70-40 in the second half. It was ugly. Thunder forced a ton of three-pointers by the Timberwolves. They were packing the paint and made them take 51 three-point attempts. That was their goal, and it worked because they only shot 29%. Timberwolves only had 20 points in the paint in Game 1. Clearly, the Thunder's goal to win these games is to make Minnesota beat them from the outside. So let's get into Game 2 bets. But before we do, I want to give out a series bet that I ran across after Game 1 that I like. And again, you don't need to tail this or anything, but I want to talk through it real quick. It's a Timberwolves plus 2.5 games. It's plus 105. To get plus money here to just win 2 games. That's all the Timberwolves have to do is win 2 games, get to Game 6. I think it's a bit of an overreaction in my opinion. Again, Minnesota still has 2 home games, and all they got to do is win 2 games. This is a proven team that was in the Western Conference Final last year. They're in it this year. They have their superstar, Anthony Edwards. Julius Randle is playing well. They got a good coach. I think they're going to make some adjustments. Nuggets just took him to Game 7. I don't even need him to take him to Game 7. I just need him to take him to Game 6. So I do like this one. So I like the T-Wolves plus 2.5 games as a series bet. Now, my bet number 1 for this game, it's all things Minnesota today. So I could fall flat on my face. But give me Minnesota plus 7.5, minus 105 on DraftKings for a half unit. I talked about it a bit earlier, but I do expect them to make adjustments. They knocked the rust off in Game 1, that's for sure. But remember, this is still a team that won 2 of 4 games versus OKC this year. Yes, they shot 29% from deep. And some of those looks, they were just missing wide open shots. I mean, it was ugly. Jaden McDaniels was in foul trouble. They obviously need to attack the rim. Even with the packed paint, they still need to make this defense go side to side, really work as opposed to just launching threes. And I think they will. I don't think they're a team that wants to take 51 three-pointers again next game. Or in this game. But Edwards is going to come out more aggressive. I just know it. And I'm going to talk to you about that more in bet number 2. But I think the Minnesota's defense will be fine. The big thing with defense is when you have a bad offense, whether you're turning the ball over, missing a ton of shots, it leads to runouts. It leads to easy buckets in transition. A lot less of Minnesota getting their defense set in the half court and all that. So I think as long as they can pick up that offense, they'll be fine defensively. Again, we saw it in the first half when they were scoring some more points. Thunder only scored 44 points in the first half. So I think they will be fine, but it's all about that offense for Minnesota. They have great players, obviously. Bounce back spot here. They're a team that knows how to win in this type of the playoff games. Thunder won by 26, but yet the line, or I think they won 26. Yeah, it was about that. Yet the line stayed right at 7.5. I think it's for a reason. Give me Minnesota plus 7.5 as my first best bet for this game. And then bet number 2. This can be a little wild to you guys probably. Anthony Edwards over 23.5 points at minus 125 on FanDuel. Half unit play. Yes, you heard that right. In game 1, we took Anthony Edwards under, but that was 27.5 points. This thing has just plummeted. 4 points in one game is pretty insane here. It's a huge difference. It's a big overreaction. So game 1, let's talk about it. Ant had the ball in his hands a lot. He was the pick and roll ball handler. You never want to be that against OKC, honestly. It led to easy traps, a lot of double teams. He only took 13 shots. And you know what? After the game, he talked about his frustrations only taking 13 shots. I expect some adjustments with him playing more off ball. And he, I think it was him or the coach even mentioned it a little bit. But I think if he plays more off ball, it'll lead to more better scoring opportunities, not getting trapped all over the place. And again, he still scored 18 points on 13 field goal attempts. But game 1 was the lowest scoring game in round 1 for Ant as well, after he saw what the defense gave him. And then the second lowest scoring game was game 1 in round 2 as well. So we know Ant's a superstar. They're going to make some adjustments. He is not going to take 13 shots this game. He's going to come out really aggressive. You know that. Ant is not a guy who just sits back and is okay taking 12 to 14 shots a game or anything like that. And no doubt, OKC's defense is legit. I'm not going to all of a sudden take that away or anything. It's not going to be easy. But I think there's going to be so much volume here that he's going to figure it out. He's going to watch the game film because that's what he does. And he's a superstar for a reason. But I think 4-point drop from one game to the next on an absolute superstar like Anthony Edwards, I have to bite. Again, I took the under in first game because, well, it's 27.5. That was huge. Now we're down to a more reasonable line at 23.5. After they just lost, he's going to come out aggressive, come out hungry. Give me Ant over 23.5 points. That's my second and final best bet for game 2, and that's what we got. But before we get out of here, let's check out the recap. All right, there it is. My 2 best bets for game 2. Timberwolves plus 7.5. Anthony Edwards over 23.5 points. And then I gave out that series bet as well. Timberwolves plus 2.5 games. Just got to win 2 to cash this one. Plus 105 for a unit. So thank you guys for watching. As always, really appreciate the support. Hit that like button if you haven't already. But hope you have a great Thursday, and we'll talk to you soon.